Today, we're diving into one of those rare travel experiences that gets your heart racing before the trip even begins. Scenic airport landings. You know what I'm talking about. Those landings that make you drop your book, pause your movie, and glue your face to the window. These are the kinds of descents that make you whisper, "Wow," under your breath, wondering if you've just stepped into a painting. So grab your window seat, hit that like button if you love to travel, and subscribe for more breathtaking journeys like this. Let's explore some of the most stunning airport landings on Earth. 10. Juancho Yrausquin Airport, Saba. All right, thrill seekers, this one's for you. Juancho Yrausquin Airport, on the tiny Caribbean island of Saba, has the shortest commercial runway in the world. Just 400 meters. That's it. The landing approach is absolutely wild. You'll fly over deep blue waters and rugged cliffs before the plane touches down on a tiny strip of land perched between the ocean and a mountain. There's no margin for error here, which is why only specially certified pilots are allowed to land. But for you, the passenger, it's an adrenaline-pumping experience with views to match. 9th. Paro Airport, Bhutan. Now for something truly epic, Paro Airport in Bhutan. Only a few pilots in the world are certified to land here. That's how challenging and awe-inspiring this landing is. The airport is surrounded by the Himalayas, with peaks soaring over 18,000 feet. Planes have to zigzag through narrow valleys and make sharp descents, often within meters of rugged mountain slopes and traditional Bhutanese homes. But once the nerves settle, the views are nothing short of spiritual. You'll see ancient monasteries clinging to cliffs, deep pine forests, and rivers snaking through valleys untouched by modern development. It's serene, raw, and deeply moving. Paro is one of the world's most remote and exclusive airports. 8. Innsbruck Airport, Austria. Let's switch it up with a winter wonderland landing. Innsbruck, Austria. Flying into Innsbruck is like entering a snow globe. The city is surrounded by towering peaks, and during winter, those mountains are blanketed in fresh powder, the kind of scenery that makes you feel like you're on your way to a ski resort. And often, you are. In 2023, the airport accommodated 906,635 passengers, reflecting a 25.7% increase from the previous year. This growth highlights Innsbruck's status as a key hub for tourists seeking alpine adventures and winter sports. As you descend, the plane weaves through narrow mountain passes. The airport is right in the heart of the valley, which means pilots need to execute precision landings. It's a technical challenge for them, but for you, it's pure magic. Whether you're visiting for snow sports or just to soak in some Austrian charm, your trip starts with an unforgettable arrival. 7. Rio de Janeiro-Santos Dumont Airport, Brazil. Flying into Rio is like gliding into a dream. If you're landing at Santos Dumont Airport, prepare to be absolutely blown away. This airport sits right on the edge of Guanabara Bay, meaning your descent takes you over water, with views of Rio's most iconic landmarks. On one side, you'll see Sugarloaf Mountain rising sharply from the sea. On the other, the sprawling city unfolds, from the skyscrapers of downtown to the curves of Copacabana Beach. And then there's Christ the Redeemer, that world-famous statue perched high on Corcovado Mountain. Seeing it from the air, arms stretched wide as you descend, is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. 6. Courchevel Altiport, France. If you're a thrill seeker, Courchevel Altiport in the French Alps delivers an exhilarating descent like no other. Perched at over 6,500 feet above sea level, the runway is short, steep, and surrounded by snow-covered mountains. The approach is challenging even for experienced pilots, with no go-around procedure and a sloped runway that aids in slowing down aircraft. As you descend, the view of the alpine peaks is absolutely cinematic. It's the ultimate alpine adventure, serving elite ski resorts and daring travelers. Landing here feels more like arriving on a movie set than an airport. Intense, beautiful, and unforgettable. 5. Barra Airport, Scotland. Barra Airport in Scotland offers a landing unlike any other, because you actually land on the beach. That's right. The runway is a tidal beach on the island of Barra in the Outer Hebrides. Flights are scheduled around the tides, and planes touch down directly on the sand. With rugged hills on one side and sweeping views of the Atlantic Ocean on the other, the descent feels surreal, as if nature and aviation have joined forces. There's a peaceful beauty in arriving here. It's remote, raw, and utterly unique. You're not just landing, you're connecting with the land. Fourth, Madeira Airport, Portugal. Let's talk about a landing that'll get your palms sweating and your eyes popping. Madeira Airport in Portugal. This is one of the world's most unique and visually stunning airports. Why? Because it's literally built on the edge of a cliff, with a portion of the runway sitting on stilts over the Atlantic Ocean. Yep, they had to engineer a runway extension on giant columns just to make commercial flights possible. Now, the views as you approach? Absolutely breathtaking. You'll glide over the deep blue Atlantic, past jagged cliffs and lush green hills, as the island of Madeira slowly reveals itself below. It's a rugged, dramatic landscape that feels more volcanic than tropical. As the plane begins its final descent, the runway seems to come out of nowhere, rising from the sea like a mirage. The pilots have to navigate strong crosswinds and make a sharp approach, which can be intense, but the scenery is so stunning that most passengers are too mesmerized to notice the nerves. 3. Queenstown Airport, New Zealand. Next, we head to New Zealand, land of hobbits, mountains, and some of the most spectacular landscapes on the planet. Queenstown Airport isn't just an arrival, it's a cinematic experience. As your plane begins to descend, you're greeted by the Southern Alps, a snow-capped range that looks like it was carved for a fantasy movie. The sharp peaks, deep valleys, and icy blue rivers are so close, you'll feel like you could reach out and touch them. But the real showstopper? Lake Wakatipu. The plane often loops around it during descent, giving you sweeping views of this massive, mirror-like lake surrounded by forests and hills. In 2023, it welcomed over 2.38 million passengers, a nearly 28% increase from the previous year. It's clear people from all over the world are drawn to this breathtaking arrival. 2. Lord Howe Island Airport, Australia. First up, Lord Howe Island. Ever heard of it? Not surprised if you haven't. It's one of Australia's best-kept secrets, tucked away in the Tasman Sea. Now, picture this. You're flying low over an endless stretch of ocean, when suddenly, out of nowhere, a tiny emerald island appears, framed by towering volcanic mountains and a reef so clear you can see the coral from the air. The island is home to fewer than 400 people, and visitor numbers are tightly capped. In fact, the airport only served around 33,385 passengers in one financial year, making it one of Australia's quietest commercial airports, a true hidden gem. So that descent feels almost private, just you and nature. As the plane starts its final approach, you'll fly past Mount Gower and Mount Lidgebird, dramatic, jungle-covered peaks that rise straight from the ocean. You're literally landing on a slice of untouched paradise. Oh, and the runway? It's short, real short, so there's a bit of thrill there too. Combine that with jaw-dropping beauty, and this becomes one of the most memorable landings you'll ever experience. First, Princess Juliana International Airport, St. Maarten. Touching down at Princess Juliana International Airport is not just a flight, it's a spectacle. Located on the Caribbean island of St. Maarten, this airport is famous for its jaw-droppingly low landings over Maho Beach. As planes approach the short runway, they fly just a few dozen feet above sunbathers and thrill seekers, creating unforgettable photo ops and moments of pure adrenaline. The roar of jet engines, the rush of wind, and the proximity to paradise make this one of the most iconic and scenic airport landings in the world. It's a bucket list experience for aviation lovers. So, there you have it, some of the world's most scenic, jaw-dropping, camera-worthy airport landings. These are the moments where travel becomes something more than just getting from point A to B. They're a reminder of how stunning our planet really is. And sometimes, the journey, quite literally, is the destination. So next time you book a trip, don't just look at the destination. Take a peek at the approach. You might just discover a landing that takes your breath away. And hey, always choose the window seat. Let me know which landing you'd love to experience in the comments. Or, if you've already flown into one of these places, share your story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more wanderlust-filled adventures. Until next time, happy travels and smooth landings.